Walter here. And in the last video, I think I promised we'd talk about trading psychology, which is exactly what we're going to talk about. Now, if you've been trading for any length of time, you know that psychology is a big part of it. It sort of becomes the focus of trading after you've worked through the finding the perfect holy grail system. At least that's what I've found working with traders around the world and what I've done personally. If you want to learn more about trading psychology, we've got in week 5 of the small account big profits course, which you can click the link below or above, get more information about that. Now, I want to share with you 3 ways of, quote, letting go. And by using these, or maybe just one of these that resonates with you, I think you'll find it easier to let yourself find success. If you want to get better, like if you're doing well right now, great. But if you want to do better, this is probably something that you might want to look at, well, at least one of these. And the reason why is because it's taken me, I can tell you that it's taken me, and maybe I'm a slow learner, but it's taken me over 10 years to understand the power of all 3 of these. I may have understood the power of one of them or 2 of them within the first 6-7 years of trading, but it's actually taken me longer than that, over a decade, just to learn the value of each of these. And that's one of the reasons why I like working with traders around the world, is because I learn a lot from other traders. So I want to share these with you. And again, if you'd like more on this, you can get in small accounts, big profits by clicking the link below or above this video. All right. So number 1 is automated exits. This is something that we do in small accounts, big profits. I share with you how you don't have to, but you can basically let go of your trade as soon as you get into it. So you get in the trade and you let an automated expert advisor get you out of it. So what that means is it kind of relieves you of the decision making. And so you don't get to beat yourself up if, say, for example, you take profits quickly and the market gives, 3, 4, 5 times the profit that you took, which is obviously a big thing for us, the missed opportunity aspect of trading that comes up all the time. Another way to deal with that, of course, is to split your position up so that you have sort of an aggressive position, maybe a more conservative one, and so forth. So you can kind of always be right if that's an issue. And I'll show you how we do that too in the small account big profits course. But that's one way to deal with that. For example, you can have a trailing exit and you can have a target, and that way, you kind of cover both bases. We're a little bit more sophisticated than that in the course, but basically that's one way that you can approach it. Another way is, and this comes up a lot, or at least it did for me when I first started trading, I was going through the cycle of doom that I talk about in the Naked Forex book, where you find a great system, you trade it for a little while, things are going well, boom, run into a losing streak, think, the market's really changed now, or this system's not working. Usually that's an excuse to throw it away, find another one or tweak the one you've got a lot, throw that away, and then start over again, find a new one, and you keep cycling through. I call that the cycle of doom. I've seen that on YouTube now, that term has taken off, which is pretty cool that people are talking about that, because it's a big deal. It's a really big deal when you first start trading. So the way that I've found to deal with that is to look at each trade as just a slice. So if you want to assess your trades, that's cool, but do it in a chunk of 30. So instead of saying, oh my gosh, the last 2 trades have been losers, I need to refine my entry, what you do instead is say, well, the last 2 trades have been losers. Let's see if I can get another 28 trades under my belt and look at that group of 30 and see if something's going on there. So you can compare that group of 30, the data in there, to your back-tested results of 700 trades or whatever you have for that strategy, for that currency pair. So that's another way to make sure that you let go and just let it roll. And, as a trader, I found that we get paid for taking risks and literally letting go of our capital, of our risk capital, when other people would not. And that's it. Like, there's a safety, like there's certain cultures that almost frown upon being an entrepreneur or a trader or some sort of risky endeavor, and they equate it to gambling. Whereas as a trader, you've obviously decided, look, this is worth it to me. It's worth it for me to get paid to make decisions. It's worth it for me to risk my capital. And so when you let go of a trade, like when I take a new trade, I generally will assume the trades I'm already in are going to lose. I definitely want to assume that they're going to win. So, and the other thing is, the third one that I wanted to share with you is the no break-even move. And this has taken me a while, but what I've learned is that you can't have it both ways when it comes to trading. You can either, and this is a lot like, I'll tell you a quick story. My wife was telling me a story about her friend. Her friends, they all went on a big trip to Africa, and they went on safaris and all this. And one of her friends was at the airport, and a beautiful friend, really great person. And her father, and she could tell that, my wife could tell that her friend wasn't sure if she really wanted to go on this big adventure, on this big trip around the world. And her dad said to her, they were 18 at the time. Dad said to her, you don't have to go if you don't want to, honey. It's okay, And I understand why he said that. But my wife said she was really upset inside because she wanted the father to let his daughter grow up, let her go. Just let her go. And it's hard to do that. I can understand why that would be difficult as a parent to do that, to just let go. And I can understand where he's coming from. But as a trader, we need to learn to let go. And one thing that I've learned to let go of is this idea of moving to break even. And I used to do a lot of, as soon as I could, boom, move my stop to break even. And there's a lot of psychological value in that. However, here's what I found. And it's tough to find something, it really is tough to find evidence to the contrary, although you may find it yourself. So don't take what I say as gospel, but have a look yourself and dig into the numbers yourself. But what I found is this: if you move your stop loss to break even, will reduce the profitability of that strategy. In other words, there are always going to be trades that go in your favor, pull back beyond the entry point, and then eventually go in your favor further and either make profit with a trailing exit or hit a target or whatever. And so when you move to break even, you reduce the profitability of a trading system, even though you're avoiding a potential loss. And in many times you will avoid a potential loss by doing that. You're also avoiding potential wins. So for what it's worth, I just wanted to point that out, that, and again, like I said, don't take what I say as true. I always encourage you to test this for yourself. And what I'm saying is that was a tough one for me to grasp, that not moving to break even is a better way to go, because it feels like you need to do something. And again, it comes down to this letting go of your money, letting go of the trade decision, letting go and just letting it roll and see where it may go. So I hope that this has been helpful. I really appreciate you spending time here with us, and I'm sure that we'll see you in another video. Okay, see you. Bye.